What's going on, everybody? TheKennyDubz here with another Mega Man X dive overview video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Arc Cracker, which was recently released in the global version of X Dive. Alright, so taking a look at the Arc Cracker here, it is a Buster type weapon and it has Cycling Shot. Cycling Shot isn't very common from what I recall, but it's very similar to the, it's the same as the Shadow Blade Buster weapon. So like it shoots the weapon and then it returns to where the user is, so you get some damage on the initial launch and then you get a little bit of damage afterwards. That also means that it can penetrate multiple targets as well. So let's take a look at the skills it has. Alright, so over here we have crit increase, we have improved energy shot, increases your rate of fire energy by 10%. Crit increase increases your crit by 5%, or sorry, by 5, not 5% when using this weapon. And then we have Destroyer, which I really like on this weapon. I just kind of wish it was, the weapon itself was a lot better to really make use of this. When hitting a target into a state of enhanced damage and increased damage dealt by up to 3.84%, which is roughly 4%, and it can be stacked up to 5 times. So in a very similar vein to Nightmare, you can gain enhanced damage status and obviously increase your damage by just attacking the opposition, which is very, very nice. It's one of the things that makes Nightmare really, really good. All right, then the next skill is Crit D increase, which is your crit damage, so increases your crit damage by 11. So we have Power increase, increases the damage rate by 5%. And finally, we have the Skull Cracker Shot. When hitting an enemy with weakened defense, it will immobilize the targets within range, and this effect can be only triggered again after a 4-second cooldown. Now, while this weapon does have a hidden skill on the Taiwan version of the game, which is clearly obviously what I'm using because the hidden skill is here, I won't be covering it right now just because it's not available in the global version of the game. So now that we want weapons a little bit, let's talk a bit more about the Skull Cracker Shot, since this is going to be the last pass you're going to be able to unlock on the global version of the game. Now it says, when hitting a target with weakened defense, it will mobilize targets within range. Now, that sounds really good, right? But as I mentioned in the preview video, the weapon doesn't inherently have a way to do that prior to getting hidden skills activated. So if you're going to want to use this weapon, you're going to need to combo it with either another weapon or another character that can utilize this for you. So let's talk about the characters that can combo well with this weapon. So, as you would expect, one of the, or multiple of the X units should combo well with this weapon, as they can inflict not only defense crush, but they also get Buster amplification as well. So, the first one we're going to talk about is First Armor X. When using his headbutt skill, you actually inflict defense crush on the opposition. So, you can use that in order to get the stun with the Arc Cracker. And also, interestingly enough, then with that, you also wouldn't necessarily need to use Soft Spot. I think Soft Spot is still pretty good, but this frees you up to let you more easily use the Headgear Charge +1, which is very, very nice. You might use this anyway, and just so you have 3 charges, because that's ups your damage by a lot. Another character that inflicts Defense Crush, or weakened defense. I say Defense Crush because it's lowering your defense. So like if I say Defense Crush, just know it's interchangeable with weakened defense status. Is Roll Casket. Her skill right over here, the Wrench Throw, weakens the target's defense, so she's a decent character to use with as well. Ayla can inflict Defense Crush as well inherently in her kit with her Intelligent Analysis passive. So whenever she uses any kind of damaging, whether it be a weapon or skill, she can inflict Defense Crush. Vile can also inflict Defense Crush with his modifier chip on his skill 2. Base X as well can do it. He's one of the characters I like to use, or I used to like to use a lot when the game first started. His skill 2 has a Defense Crush on one of his modifier chips, alongside X just having the inherent Buster Mastery to amplify his damage even more. I almost forgot about Classic Proto Man because I don't have him unlocked in this account, so he was all the way back here at the top. But Classic Proto Man can inflict Defense Crush as well once he's at 4 stars with his Shield Bash. Another unit I almost forgot about is Ultimate Armor X. His Nova Strike also has Defense Crush associated with it as well with his modifier chip. Okay, I didn't want to go over all the characters that this weapon could be decent with, but I went over quite a few of them. So now let's look at a few of the weapons that can actually help give defense crush to pair with this with. I also can't look at all the weapons because this game is just odd like that, so I'll just go over a few of them that I know have defense crush associated with them that are also available in the global version. First up, we have the Doom Blade here. Its 0-star passive has a chance to crush defense. The Electric Current Spray Gun also has a defense crush associated with it as well, available at 0 stars. As does the Drill Head Cannon and the Standard Saber. Standard Sabers is available at 1 star, I believe, and the Drill Head Cannon is available at 2 stars though. Alright, now that I've gone over a few characters and weapons you can use this in combinations with, let's talk about how this weapon fares in PvP. Well, in PvP, this weapon really isn't that great because you have to use something else to combo with it to unlock the stun associated with it. And to be honest, if you really want the stun on a buster type weapon, one really easy thing you can do is equip the bit chip. Now the bit chip is a bit slow moving, so when you fire the bind ring, it's pretty easy to dodge unless they're artificer with some other kind of status ailment, like maybe the slow from Chill Penguin, which is also just very good as well. So you don't have to go for the bit chip, but these two work pretty decently together. I really wouldn't recommend this weapon as a PvP type weapon, to be completely honest, unless you're lacking on some options. For buster type weapons, you typically want to go with like the Sniper Buster like this, or the Destructive Laser, as those two weapons are really good. I'm just trying to find it down here so I can show you because I do not own it. This is also a very good weapon for PvP. You can even use the Shooting Dragon Buster, but that weapon doesn't exist, so just pretend it's not here. I'm not salty at all. We have the Explosive Bolt as well, which is another sniper style buster, because those busters just tend to work the best in PvP, right? Because you don't really have to be close to your opposition. You can hit them from a very safe distance and be pretty good. And then as opposed to, I'm sorry, and talking about PvE for a moment here, stun isn't really all that helpful in PvP or PvE. It's much more useful in PvE, but this weapon isn't all that great. It's definitely usable, don't get me wrong. I think it's usable, but there are just much better options to use over the Arc Cracker. Even though I do really like this weapon, it's one of the first busters I got in this account. I was like, oh, you know, this is really cool. I like this passive a lot. But without its hidden skill, it's just really hard to recommend. Even with its hidden skill, I think you might be better off with a Sniper style buster. Now what you could do, you could run Sniper plus this once it gets its hidden skill, because the hidden skill makes it a lot more self-sufficient. You don't have to worry about having to combo with something else to get the Skullcracker shot trigger, or like, you know, another weapon, another character. Something else to note is that there might be some inherited DNAs you can use to combo this with, but those are not that common in global just yet either, so I don't want to go too far into those. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Arc Cracker Buster. Hopefully this helped you guys out deciding if you want to pull for it or not. If you want to go for it, but this is just a really hard weapon for me to recommend in a PvP setting. It's alright in PvE, you know, it'll get the job done. Again, there's definitely better options you could use, but you know, it's not the worst. It's usable. Anyway, like I said, hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to share to our channel to grow and enjoy the content. Let me know down below what other weapons and characters you want to see before the next round of them comes out. I'll also probably post a poll on my community tab, so be sure to check that out as well. And I will see you guys next time. Later.